Absolutely. If I can respond to the earlier remark from Washerman Schultz. I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer.
Authorities in San Antonio continuing the grim task today of identifying 51 migrants who died after being abandoned in a tractor trailer in the sweltering Texas heat.
So I looked at a keyed on little boy, and he was partially covered up by who later found out was his father, who was protecting him. And I keyed in on him, and he was wearing the same color underwear that my little boy had.
There was no air in that vehicle. There was no water. They suffered.
So I took over the investigation, and I was telling them to take all these pictures, what I needed. But I told them that we would do the boy last, and mainly because I couldn't handle it.
Why do you think they opened the border up?
I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
I think there's some people that just don't believe in borders. They think we should have open borders, but I actually think they saw future political benefit.
It's a totally different circumstance. What's on my watch now is Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. And the ability to send them back to those states is not rational. You could send them back and have them, we're working with Mexico and other countries to see if we can stop the flow.
Dramatic new video shows a struggle between Border Patrol and migrants in El Paso.
Let's bring 10.5 million encounters to the border, release them without proper vetting, because all they care about is the optics.
How does it work? How are they selling kids? What's that marketplace? Where is it?
You gotta be part of the inner circle, but a lot of us through the dark web.
Are Americans the end consumer of this?
During the Biden administration, they were hiring college kids and high school kids to drive loads. Social media is a big tool used in all of this.
We've had former CIA targeter Sarah Adams come on here to talk a lot about who's here. She says there's terrorists that have infiltrated the border.
It'll all connect.
They're gonna start coming up through our southern borders.
Well, they've already started.
I was just wondering, what kind of insight do you have on that?
Criminal cartels in Mexico control the border. How do you consider them terrorists? MS-13 in Trinidad and the criminal cartels in Mexico? Because they've killed more Americans than any terrorist organization I know of, by the thousands. Not only that, these cartels in Mexico, they've killed thousands of journalists, prosecutors, judges. You don't cross the border without paying them off or working through them. So why did 2 million people pay more to get away? That scares the hell out of me.
How about the tunnels?
The tunnel, the length of 6 football fields and 6 stories below ground, has rail tracks, ventilation, and electricity.
Tunnels are big in California. We're starting to see some now in Arizona. We got some pretty good tunnel technology.
Other than sending more agents, how are you dealing with these sanctuary cities? I mean, we saw a judge, was it Wisconsin, that got arrested?
A former judge and his wife were arrested in New Mexico. They were accused of letting a suspected Tren de Aragua member live in their guest house.
If you want to support sanctuary cities, if that's what you want to do, then go ahead.
Judge Hannah Dugan did make her initial appearance this morning. She was charged with 2 federal crimes. That includes concealing a person from discovery and arrest.
Just don't get in our way. An average day in Joe Biden, 1,800 gotaways that you and I talked about. 10, 12,000 on Biden many times, a few times got to 15. Their number one responsibility is protection of their communities.
That's almost 800,000 a year.
A mayor was arrested just this past few days.
Newark.
In Newark, because he was trespassing.
Mayor Ras Barak is now facing a trespassing charge for allegedly entering an ICE detention property illegally.
President Trump was elected by the American people overwhelmingly because of his stance on the border, securing the border, and run this deportation operation.
This morning, he issued an executive order to improve how the city is notified of federal enforcement actions.
Literally yesterday that the mayor of Nashville is now going to use tax-paying dollars to harbor illegal aliens.
Well, you better not. I'm busy, but I'm glad I'm here. I think this is you got huge bandwidth, and American people need to know what's happening in this country right now.